Your life is the sum of your decisions. Take a moment and imagine two people standing at the starting line of life. They are born into similar families, attend similar schools, and begin their careers with almost the same opportunities. Neither of them is exceptionally wealthy, and neither starts with a significant advantage. Yet 20 years later, their lives look completely different. One enjoys financial freedom, owns valuable assets, and has the flexibility to spend time with family, travel, or pursue meaningful work. The other struggles to pay bills, lives from paycheck to paycheck, and constantly worries about money. What caused such a dramatic difference? Many people immediately assume it was luck. Others believe one person must have been smarter or inherited wealth. While those factors can certainly influence someone's journey, they are rarely the complete story. If you study the lives of financially successful people, you'll discover a much deeper truth. Wealth is not usually built by one lucky break or one extraordinary event. It is built through a series of decisions, small decisions, repeated consistently over many years. That is what this book is about. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are making decisions that shape your financial future. Some of those choices seem insignificant. Deciding whether to save or spend an extra $50 may not feel life-changing. Choosing to read a book instead of watching television for another hour may seem like a small sacrifice. Learning a new skill instead of scrolling endlessly through social media may not produce immediate rewards. But these decisions are never truly small. Like tiny drops of water that eventually fill an entire lake, your daily choices accumulate over time. A single good decision might not transform your life overnight, but hundreds of good decisions made consistently can completely change your future. Think about planting a tree. On the first day after planting the seed, nothing remarkable happens. A week later, there is still little to see. Even after several months, the tree appears fragile and unimpressive. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary is taking place. The roots are growing stronger every single day. Years later, that tiny seed has become a towering tree capable of withstanding storms and providing shade for generations. Your financial life works the same way. Every wise decision strengthens your financial roots. Every dollar you save, every skill you develop, every investment you make, and every habit you improve quietly prepares you for opportunities that may not arrive until years later. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. Small financial mistakes rarely destroy a person's future overnight. Instead, they slowly accumulate. Spending more than you earn, delaying investments, relying on credit cards for unnecessary purchases, ignoring opportunities to increase your income, or believing you'll start next month may seem harmless in the moment. Yet over time, these habits grow into financial stress, limited choices, and missed opportunities. This is why your future is determined less by one big decision and more by thousands of small ones. One of the greatest misconceptions about money is that wealth begins with a high income. While earning more can certainly help, income alone does not create wealth. Every year, countless people with impressive salaries struggle financially because their decisions consistently work against them. At the same time, many individuals with ordinary incomes quietly build impressive wealth because they make thoughtful, disciplined choices year after year. The difference is not always what they earn. It is often what they decide. Throughout this audiobook, you will discover that money is deeply connected to behavior. Financial success is not simply about understanding numbers, interest rates, or investment strategies. Those things matter, but they are only part of the equation. Behind every financial result is a decision. Behind every decision is a habit. And behind every habit is a mindset. Change the mindset, and the decisions begin to change. Change the decisions, and the habits improve. Improve the habits, and over time, your financial future begins to look completely different. Perhaps the most encouraging truth is that you don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to become an expert investor overnight or double your income by next month. Lasting success is rarely built through dramatic transformations. It is built through consistent progress. One better decision today, another tomorrow, then another next week. Over months and years, these seemingly ordinary choices create extraordinary results. As you listen to the chapters ahead, you will notice that we are not focusing on complicated financial theories or unrealistic promises. Instead, we will explore 25 decisions that have the power to influence almost every aspect of your financial life. Some decisions involve money directly, such as investing early, avoiding unnecessary debt, and controlling your spending. Others may surprise you because they appear unrelated to wealth at first glance. For example, the career you choose determines far more than your paycheck. It shapes your opportunities, your network, and your future earning potential. The people you spend time with influence your habits, your ambitions, and your expectations. The skills you choose to learn can multiply your income for decades. Even choosing the right life partner can have one of the greatest impacts on your financial future because money is often shaped by shared values, communication, and long-term goals. These are not random decisions. They are life-changing decisions. You may recognize some of them immediately. Others may challenge beliefs you've held for years. That's perfectly normal. Growth often begins the moment we become willing to question our assumptions. As you move through this book, don't simply listen for interesting ideas. Listen for the one decision that could make the greatest difference in your own life right now. Sometimes one new habit is enough to create momentum. One wise financial choice can open doors that seemed impossible only a few years earlier. Remember, success is rarely the result of one giant leap. More often, it is the result of taking one small step in the right direction every single day. By the time you finish this audiobook, I hope you won't just think differently about money. I hope you'll think differently about decisions. Because every decision you make is like casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Your future is not built someday, it is built today, one choice at a time. The title of this book is The Money Decisions That Change Everything, but in reality, these decisions change much more than your bank account. They change your confidence. They change your opportunities. They change your relationships with money and with the people you love. Most importantly, they give you something priceless. The freedom to choose the life you truly want to live. So, as we begin this journey together, keep one simple truth in mind. Your circumstances may influence where you start, but your decisions determine where you finish. One good decision can change the next year of your life. A series of good decisions can change the next 20 years. And a lifetime of wise decisions can create a legacy that lasts for generations. Let's begin with the first decision. Chapter 1. Choose your career carefully, your biggest financial investment. Your career is more than the job you do, it is one of the most important financial decisions you will ever make. Imagine you're about to plant a tree that will continue producing fruit for the next 40 years. Before planting it, you would probably spend time choosing the right location, the best soil, and the healthiest seed because you know that one decision will influence the tree's entire future. Choosing a career is remarkably similar. Most people think of their career as simply a way to earn a paycheck, but it is much more than that. It is one of the largest financial investments you will ever make. Unlike buying a house or investing in the stock market, your career determines how much money you can invest, how quickly you can build wealth, and what opportunities become available throughout your life. Yet surprisingly, many people spend more time researching their next smartphone than they do choosing the career they may follow for decades. The truth is that your first career choice doesn't have to define your entire life, but it often sets the direction for your financial future. It influences your income, your lifestyle, your network, your confidence, and the skills you develop. That's why making this decision carefully can change the next 20 or even 40 years of your life. Your career is your greatest income-producing asset. When people think about investments, they usually imagine stocks, real estate, or businesses. While those are valuable assets, they all have one thing in common: they require money to begin with. Where does that money come from? For most people, it comes from their career. Before your investments can grow, your ability to earn must grow. Every raise, every promotion, every valuable skill you develop increases the amount of money you can save and invest. A career with strong earning potential creates opportunities that continue paying dividends long after your workday ends. Think about two graduates who begin their careers at age 22. The first chooses a career with limited opportunities for growth. Their salary increases slowly, and after 20 years, they are earning only slightly more than when they started. The second chooses a career that rewards continuous learning and skill development. They gain experience, improve their expertise, and steadily increase their income. After 2 decades, they are earning several times more than their starting salary. The difference isn't just their annual income. It's the amount they can save, invest, and use to build long-term wealth. Over a lifetime, the gap can grow into millions of dollars. Don't chase a job, build a career. A job provides income for today. A career creates opportunities for tomorrow. Many people focus only on their starting salary, believing the highest-paying offer is automatically the best choice. While salary matters, it shouldn't be the only factor. Ask yourself, does this career offer opportunities for growth? Will I continue learning valuable skills? Is there demand for this profession in the future? Can my income increase significantly with experience? Does this work challenge me to improve? The answers to these questions often matter more than your first paycheck. A career that encourages growth can dramatically increase your lifetime earnings, while a career with limited advancement may leave you financially stuck despite a comfortable beginning. Skills create income. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they are paid for their time. In reality, most successful professionals are paid for the value they create. The more valuable your skills become, the more valuable you become to employers, clients, or customers. Communication, leadership, problem-solving, sales, negotiation, technology, artificial intelligence, project management. These are examples of skills that can increase your earning potential regardless of your industry. Instead of asking, "How can I earn more money?" ask a better question. What skills can I develop that make me more valuable? Income usually follows value. Passion matters, but so does opportunity. You've probably heard the advice, follow your passion. Passion is important because it keeps you motivated during difficult times. However, passion alone does not guarantee financial success. A wiser approach is to find the intersection between 3 things: what you enjoy, what you are good at, or can become good at, what the marketplace is willing to pay for. When these 3 areas overlap, you create a career that is both meaningful and financially rewarding. The goal isn't simply to love what you do. The goal is to create value through work that allows you to grow while meeting real needs in the marketplace. Your career doesn't have to be permanent. One reason people fear choosing a career is the belief that one decision locks them into the same path forever. That simply isn't true. The modern world changes rapidly. New industries emerge, technology transforms existing jobs, and entirely new careers appear every few years. Many successful people changed careers before finding the path that matched their strengths. The important decision isn't choosing the perfect career. It's choosing a career that allows you to keep learning, adapting, and growing. Every new skill becomes another stepping stone toward greater opportunities. Think beyond the monthly salary. When evaluating a career, don't ask only, "How much does it pay today?" Instead, ask, "What could this career be worth 10 years from now?" A profession that starts with an average salary but offers rapid advancement may produce much greater lifetime wealth than one with a higher starting income but little room for growth. Wealthy people often think in decades rather than months. They understand that today's decisions shape tomorrow's possibilities. Never stop investing in yourself. The highest return investment you will ever make is not in the stock market. It is in yourself. Every course you complete, every book you read, every certification you earn, and every challenge you accept increases your ability to earn. Unlike material possessions, knowledge cannot be taken away from you. Markets rise and fall. Companies succeed and fail. Technology changes. But a person who continually learns remains valuable in every economy. That's why the most successful people never stop being students. The real secret. The real secret isn't choosing the highest paying profession. It isn't becoming famous. It isn't finding a shortcut to wealth. The real secret is choosing a career that allows you to grow year after year while continuously increasing the value you provide. When your value grows, your income often follows. When your income grows, your ability to invest grows. When your investments grow, your wealth begins to work for you instead of the other way around. That is how financial freedom is built, not through one lucky break, but through decades of wise career decisions. Chapter 2. Invest in skills before you invest in stocks. Why your greatest asset is your ability to earn. Before your money can work for you, you must first become more valuable. Imagine that someone gave you two choices. The first option is a stock portfolio worth $10,000. The second option is the ability to double your income over the next 5 years. Which one would create more wealth over your lifetime? Most people immediately choose the investment portfolio because it feels like the obvious financial decision. After all, we've all heard that investing in the stock market is one of the best ways to build wealth. And that's true. But here's what many people overlook. The amount you can invest depends on the amount you earn. If your income never grows, your investments can only grow so much. On the other hand, if you continuously increase your earning power, you'll have far more money available to save, invest, and build long-term wealth. That's why the smartest investment you'll ever make isn't in stocks, bonds, or real estate. It's in yourself. Your ability to earn is your greatest financial asset. Think of yourself as a business. Every business has assets that generate income. For some businesses, it's machinery. For others, it's technology, patents, or real estate. Your greatest asset is different. Your greatest asset is your ability to solve problems, create value, and earn income. Unlike a stock portfolio, your earning ability has virtually unlimited potential. A stock may grow by 10 or 15% in a good year, but a new skill can increase your income by 50%, or even double it over time. That's a return few investments can match. The more valuable you become, the more opportunities come your way. Better jobs, promotions, freelance work, business partnerships, and leadership roles all begin with one thing: becoming more skilled than you were yesterday. Skills create opportunities. Imagine two co-workers who start the same job on the same day. Both earn the same salary. Both have similar education. 5 years later, one of them has been promoted twice, leads important projects, and earns significantly more. The other remains in the same position with only small annual raises. What changed? Often, the answer isn't luck. It's skill development. One person spent those 5 years learning new technologies, improving communication, reading books, attending workshops, and volunteering for challenging assignments. The other simply did the minimum required to keep the job. Time passed equally for both people. Growth did not. The marketplace rewards people who continue becoming more valuable. High-income skills pay dividends for life. Not every skill increases your income. Some are enjoyable hobbies. Others are useful for personal growth. But certain skills consistently create financial opportunities because businesses and customers are willing to pay for them. These are known as high-income skills. Examples include communication, public speaking, sales, negotiation, digital marketing, artificial intelligence and automation, software development, copywriting, leadership, project management, financial literacy, problem solving. Notice something interesting. Many of these skills apply to almost every industry. A great communicator is valuable in healthcare, education, technology, finance, and business. A skilled negotiator earns more regardless of the profession. A leader creates value wherever people work together. These abilities become lifelong assets because they travel with you from one opportunity to the next. The best investment requires no stock market. Imagine investing $2,000 in a professional certification that helps you earn an extra $8,000 every year. Or spending 6 months learning digital marketing and using that skill to start a freelance business that generates additional monthly income. Or improving your public speaking so you qualify for leadership positions that significantly increase your salary. These investments don't depend on market conditions. They don't disappear because of economic downturns. They become part of who you are. Knowledge cannot be stolen. Skills cannot be taken away by a market crash. They remain with you for the rest of your life. Learning is no longer optional. The world is changing faster than ever before. Technology evolves. Industries transform. Artificial intelligence automates routine tasks. New careers appear while others disappear. In this rapidly changing environment, the people who thrive aren't necessarily the smartest. They are the ones who never stop learning. Continuous learning has become one of the greatest competitive advantages anyone can possess. Every book you read, every online course you complete, every mentor you learn from, every challenge you accept, each one increases your value in ways that compound over time. The people who invest in themselves today will be the ones leading tomorrow. Don't wait until you feel ready. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they need the perfect moment to begin learning. I'll take that course next year. I'll learn that skill when life becomes less busy. I'll start after I get promoted. But the promotion often comes because you developed the skill, not before. Growth begins with action. You don't become confident and then start learning. You become confident because you started learning. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful entrepreneur once knew very little about business. Every respected leader began by making mistakes. The difference is that they kept improving. Think like an investor. Successful investors ask one important question before putting their money anywhere. What return can I expect? Ask yourself the same question whenever you invest in learning. Will this skill help me earn more? Will it make me more valuable? Will it open new opportunities? If the answer is yes, then you're making an investment rather than simply spending money. Many people think education ends after school or university. Financially successful people understand that education never truly ends. It simply becomes self-directed. The compound effect of learning. Just as money compounds through investing, knowledge compounds through continuous learning. One book introduces a new idea. That idea inspires you to take a course. The course teaches a valuable skill. That skill earns you a promotion. The promotion gives you more income to invest. Those investments create financial freedom. It all began with one decision to learn. Small improvements made consistently create extraordinary results over time. Chapter 3. Learn high-income skills that the market rewards. Why your income grows in direct proportion to the value you create. The marketplace doesn't reward effort, it rewards value. The more value you create, the more income you can earn. Imagine two people walking into the same company on their first day of work. Both are intelligent, hard-working, and eager to succeed. They start with similar salaries and similar responsibilities. 10 years later, however, one earns 3 or 4 times as much as the other. What happened? Did one person simply work harder? Not necessarily. Did one get luckier? Perhaps a little. But in most cases, the real difference is much simpler. One person spent those 10 years developing skills that the marketplace values highly. The other relied only on experience, hoping that time alone would increase their income. Here's an important truth that can change your financial future. Time does not automatically increase your value. Skills do. The marketplace doesn't pay you more because you've been working longer. It pays you more because you've become more valuable. That is why learning high-income skills is one of the smartest financial decisions you will ever make. What is a high-income skill? A high-income skill is an ability that helps businesses solve important problems, increase profits, save time, or improve results. Because these skills create measurable value, companies and clients are willing to pay generously for people who possess them. Unlike a university degree, a high-income skill isn't simply a qualification on paper. It is something you can apply immediately to create results. The best part is that these skills can be learned. You don't need to be born with extraordinary talent. You don't need wealthy parents. You don't need perfect grades. You need curiosity, discipline, and the willingness to practice consistently. Every high-income earner started as a beginner. Communication, the skill that opens every door. No matter what career you choose, communication will always matter. If you can explain ideas clearly, listen carefully, write effectively, and speak with confidence, people will naturally trust you more. Think about the professionals who earn the highest salaries. Business leaders, entrepreneurs, consultants, lawyers, doctors, and executives all share one common ability. They know how to communicate. Good communication prevents misunderstandings, builds relationships, and helps you influence others. Poor communication, on the other hand, limits opportunities even if you're highly talented. The ability to express your ideas clearly is often the difference between being noticed and being overlooked. Sales, the skill that creates wealth. Many people hear the word sales and immediately think of convincing someone to buy something they don't need. Real sales are very different. Sales is simply the ability to understand someone's problem and offer a solution that genuinely helps them. Every business survives because someone makes sales. Every entrepreneur depends on sales. Even when you're interviewing for a job, you're selling your skills, experience, and potential. People who understand sales understand people. They know how to ask questions. They know how to build trust. They know how to create value. And because businesses depend on revenue, great sales professionals are among the highest paid individuals in almost every industry. Leadership. Multiply your value through others. Leadership isn't about having an impressive title. It's about helping people perform at their best. A true leader inspires, guides, and supports others while taking responsibility for results. Companies don't promote people simply because they've worked the longest. They promote people who can solve problems, make decisions, and lead teams toward success. As your leadership skills improve, your responsibilities grow. As your responsibilities grow, your income often grows with them. The ability to lead people is one of the fastest ways to increase your value in any organization. Artificial intelligence. Learn the skill that is changing every industry. We are living through one of the biggest technological transformations in history. Artificial intelligence is no longer a tool used only by large technology companies. Today, it helps writers create content, marketers analyze data, designers generate ideas, programmers write code, doctors improve diagnoses, and businesses automate routine tasks. The question is no longer whether AI will change your industry. The question is whether you will learn to use it effectively. People who understand AI won't necessarily replace everyone else. But people who know how to use AI effectively may outperform those who ignore it. Learning AI doesn't mean becoming a computer scientist. It means understanding how technology can make your work faster, smarter, and more valuable. Those who embrace change often create the greatest opportunities. Coding, the language of the digital world. You don't have to become a full-time software engineer to benefit from learning coding. Even a basic understanding of programming teaches you how technology works and how problems are solved logically. Businesses everywhere rely on software. From banking and healthcare to education and entertainment, nearly every industry depends on technology. Coding develops analytical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving abilities. Even if you never write software professionally, understanding technology makes you more adaptable in an increasingly digital economy. Marketing. Learn to create value that people notice. Creating something valuable is important. Helping people discover that value is equally important. That's where marketing comes in. Marketing is not about manipulating people. It's about understanding what people need, communicating how you can help them, and building trust over time. Whether you're building a business, growing a YouTube channel, launching a product, or advancing your career, marketing helps people recognize the value you offer. The better you become at telling your story and demonstrating your expertise, the more opportunities come your way. Negotiation. Every conversation has value. Most people negotiate far less often than they realize. You negotiate your salary. You negotiate business partnerships. You negotiate deadlines, responsibilities, contracts, and even everyday decisions. People who negotiate effectively don't argue. They prepare. They listen. They understand the needs of both sides and work toward solutions that benefit everyone. Learning negotiation can increase your income without changing your job. One confident conversation about your value can influence your earnings for years to come. Build skills that cannot be easily replaced. The future belongs to people who combine technical knowledge with human abilities. Technology can process information quickly, but it cannot easily replace creativity, empathy, leadership, critical thinking, communication, or emotional intelligence. The most valuable professionals are those who combine modern technology with timeless human skills. Imagine someone who understands AI, communicates clearly, leads teams effectively, negotiates confidently, and understands marketing. That person becomes incredibly valuable because they solve problems from multiple angles. Instead of competing with technology, they use technology to increase their impact. Learning is a lifetime investment. The wonderful thing about high-income skills is that they continue paying you long after you've learned them. A course may take a few weeks. A book may take a few days. A certification may require several months. But the knowledge you gain can increase your income for decades. Every hour you spend learning today has the potential to return value for the rest of your working life. That's one of the greatest investments anyone can make. Chapter 4. Start investing earlier than you think you should. The unbelievable power of compound growth. The biggest mistake most people make isn't choosing the wrong investment. It's waiting too long to make the first one. Imagine standing at the top of a snow-covered hill with a tiny snowball in your hands. At first, it seems almost too small to matter. But as you gently roll it downhill, something incredible begins to happen. The snowball gathers more snow with every turn. It grows larger, heavier, and faster. By the time it reaches the bottom, it has become many times bigger than when it started. Wealth grows in much the same way. In the beginning, your investments may seem too small to make a difference. A few $100s or a modest monthly contribution might not feel like the foundation of financial freedom. It's easy to think, I'll start investing when I earn more money. But that's exactly where many people make one of the biggest financial mistakes of their lives. The secret to building wealth isn't investing huge amounts of money. The secret is giving your money enough time to grow. Time is more powerful than money. Most people believe that becoming wealthy requires a large income. A high income certainly helps, but it is not the most powerful factor in building wealth. Time is. Imagine two friends. Sarah begins investing at the age of 25. She invests a modest amount every month, even though her salary isn't very high. James decides to wait. He wants to pay off a few bills first, buy a nicer car, and earn a better salary before he starts investing. 10 years later, at the age of 35, he finally begins. Both invest consistently. Both choose similar investments. Both are disciplined. Yet when they reach retirement, Sarah's investment portfolio is likely to be much larger, not because she invested dramatically more money, but because she gave her investments 10 extra years to grow. Those early years become incredibly valuable because of one of the greatest financial forces in the world: compound growth. What is compound growth? Compound growth is often called the eighth wonder of the world because it allows your money to earn money. Imagine you invest $100. Over time, it grows and earns returns. Now you aren't just earning returns on your original investment. You're earning returns on your previous returns as well. Year after year, this process repeats itself. Your money begins working for you. Then your money's earnings begin working for you. Eventually, the growth becomes larger than the amount you're contributing. That's when investing becomes truly exciting. The earlier you begin, the longer this powerful cycle continues. Don't wait for the perfect moment. One of the most common excuses people give is, "I'll start investing when I have more money." Unfortunately, that day often never arrives. As income increases, so do expenses. A larger salary often leads to a larger house, a newer car, more expensive vacations, and a more comfortable lifestyle. Without intentional planning, higher income doesn't automatically lead to greater wealth. That's why successful investors don't wait until they feel rich. They begin with what they have. Whether it's $50, $100, or $500 each month, the habit matters far more than the amount in the beginning. Small investments made consistently usually outperform large investments that never happen. Consistency beats perfection. Many people spend years trying to predict the perfect time to invest. They wait for the market to fall. They wait for interest rates to change. They wait until the economy feels more stable. The problem is that nobody consistently predicts the future. Even professional investors struggle to time the market perfectly. Instead of trying to be perfect, successful investors focus on consistency. They invest regularly. They continue during good markets. They continue during difficult markets. They understand that short-term fluctuations are part of the journey, but long-term discipline is what builds wealth. The habit of investing matters more than finding the perfect day to start. Make investing automatic. One of the easiest ways to become a successful investor is to remove emotion from the process. Don't rely on motivation. Build a system. Arrange for a portion of every paycheck to be invested automatically before you have the chance to spend it. When investing becomes automatic, you no longer have to decide each month whether you feel like saving. The decision has already been made. Successful people understand that systems outperform willpower. Automation turns good intentions into lifelong habits. Patience is a financial superpower. Modern life encourages instant results. We expect fast internet, same-day deliveries, and immediate answers. Unfortunately, wealth doesn't grow that way. Real investing requires patience. Some years your investments will perform well. Other years may be disappointing. There will be periods when headlines predict economic disaster. There will be moments when you question your decision to continue investing. Those are often the moments that separate successful investors from everyone else. People who become wealthy through investing understand that temporary setbacks are part of long-term success. They stay focused on decades, not days. Investing is about ownership. When you invest wisely, you're not simply buying numbers on a screen. You're buying ownership. You become a small owner of businesses that create products, solve problems, employ people, and generate profits. As those businesses grow over many years, your investment has the opportunity to grow alongside them. Instead of relying entirely on your own effort to earn money, you begin allowing your money to participate in the growth of the economy. Eventually, your investments start generating income of their own. This is one of the most important transitions in building wealth. You move from working only for money to allowing money to work for you. The cost of waiting. Many people underestimate the true cost of delaying their investments. They think waiting 1 or 2 years won't matter. But every year you delay is a year your money loses the opportunity to compound. The greatest loss isn't the amount you failed to invest. It's the years of future growth you can never recover. Time is the one investment resource you cannot replace. Once a year passes, it is gone forever. That's why the best time to start investing was years ago. The second best time is today. Wealth is built through habits, not headlines. The news will always give you reasons to wait. There will always be economic uncertainty. There will always be political changes. There will always be market fluctuations. But history has shown that patient investors who remain disciplined over long periods have consistently been rewarded for their persistence. Building wealth isn't about reacting to every headline. It's about following a simple plan, trusting the process, and allowing time to do its work. The greatest investors understand that extraordinary results rarely come from extraordinary actions. They come from ordinary actions repeated consistently for many years. Chapter 5. Live below your means even when you earn more. Lifestyle inflation is the silent wealth killer. It's not how much money you make that determines your wealth. It's how much you keep. Imagine two friends who both receive a promotion on the same day. Their salaries increase by 30%. They celebrate together, feeling excited about the opportunities ahead. At first glance, it seems both of their financial futures have improved. But over the next 5 years, their lives begin to move in very different directions. The first friend immediately upgrades everything. A bigger apartment. A newer car. More expensive restaurants. Designer clothes. The latest phone every year. Luxury vacations become the new normal. Every raise is quickly matched by higher spending. The second friend celebrates the promotion too, but instead of increasing every expense, they make a different decision. They continue living much as they did before. They increase their investments, build an emergency fund, pay off debt, and use part of the extra income to learn new skills. 5 years later, the first friend earns more than ever before, but still feels financially stressed. Every paycheck disappears almost as quickly as it arrives. The second friend has built savings, investments, and financial security. They have choices. They can take career risks, start a business, travel without debt, or simply enjoy the peace of knowing they are financially prepared. The difference wasn't income. The difference was lifestyle. The trap called lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending increases every time your income increases. At first, it feels harmless. You tell yourself, "I've worked hard. I deserve this." And to some extent, that's true. There is nothing wrong with enjoying the rewards of your effort. The problem begins when every raise becomes an excuse to permanently increase your monthly expenses. A slightly better car becomes a luxury car. A comfortable home becomes a larger one with a much higher payment. Simple dinners become expensive habits. Small conveniences slowly become necessities. Without realizing it, your lifestyle expands to consume almost every extra dollar you earn. You feel richer, but you don't become wealthier. Wealth is what you don't see. Many people confuse wealth with appearance. They assume the person driving the newest luxury car or wearing expensive clothes must be financially successful. But appearances can be deceiving. True wealth is often invisible. It's the investment account quietly growing in the background. It's the emergency fund that protects you during difficult times. It's the paid-off debt. It's the freedom to say no to a job you dislike because your finances give you options. The wealthiest people are often not the ones who look wealthy. They are the ones who consistently keep more of what they earn. Every raise is an opportunity. Whenever your income increases, you face an important decision. Will you increase your spending? Or will you increase your future? Imagine receiving a raise of $500 each month. Many people immediately think about how to spend that extra money. But financially successful people ask a different question. How can this money improve my future instead of just my present? Perhaps part of it goes into investments. Perhaps some pays off debt faster. Perhaps some builds an emergency fund. Perhaps some helps you learn a new high-income skill. Of course, it's perfectly reasonable to enjoy some of your success. The key is balance. Reward yourself without making every reward a permanent financial obligation. Freedom is better than impressing others. One of the biggest reasons people overspend is surprisingly simple. They want to impress others. A luxury car may earn compliments. An expensive watch may attract attention. A large house may create the appearance of success. But appearances rarely create financial freedom. Many people spend money they haven't saved to buy things they don't truly need in order to impress people they barely know. Meanwhile, financially successful people often make a different choice. Instead of buying status, they buy freedom. They value peace of mind more than public approval. Because they understand an important truth. The opinions of others won't pay your bills. Your investments will. Small savings become big wealth. Some people dismiss saving because the amounts seem too small. What difference will an extra $50 or $100 make? The answer is simple. Consistency transforms small amounts into significant wealth. Saving isn't about depriving yourself. It's about creating options. Every dollar you choose not to spend today becomes a worker that can help build your future. Imagine hundreds of tiny employees working for you every day. That's exactly what invested savings become. The more employees you have, the harder your money works. Eventually, your investments begin producing enough income that you no longer depend entirely on your paycheck. That's the true goal. Learn the difference between wants and needs. One habit that separates wealthy people from everyone else is their ability to distinguish between wants and needs. A reliable car is a need. A luxury vehicle may be a want. Comfortable clothing is a need. Designer labels are often a want. A safe home is a need. A larger home with rooms you rarely use may simply increase expenses. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. The problem comes when every want becomes an immediate purchase. Financial discipline isn't about saying, never. It's about learning to say, not yet. Build wealth quietly. The most financially successful people often build wealth quietly. They don't feel the need to prove their success through constant spending. Instead, they allow their investments to grow. They avoid unnecessary debt. They live comfortably, but not extravagantly. They understand that real confidence comes from financial security, not financial appearance. Years later, while others are still working just to maintain an expensive lifestyle, they have accumulated assets that continue generating income. Their patience has become their advantage. Make saving automatic. The easiest way to avoid lifestyle inflation is to make saving automatic. Whenever your income increases, automatically increase the amount you invest. If you receive a raise, decide in advance that a percentage of it will go directly into savings or investments. That way, your future grows every time your income grows. Instead of wondering where your money went, you'll know exactly where it's going. Automation removes temptation. It turns discipline into habit. Chapter 6. Save first, spend later, pay yourself before paying everyone else. The path to wealth doesn't begin when you earn more. It begins the moment you decide that your future deserves to be paid first. Imagine it's payday. Your salary has just been deposited into your bank account, and within a few hours, the money begins to disappear. The rent is paid. Utility bills are deducted. Credit card payments go through. Groceries are purchased. A few online subscriptions renew automatically. Then there's fuel for the car, a dinner out with friends, and a few impulse purchases that didn't seem like a big deal. At the end of the month, you check your account and promise yourself, next month, I'll save whatever is left. But when next month arrives, the same thing happens again. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people work hard every day, earn a decent income, and genuinely want to save. Yet they struggle to build wealth because they follow one simple but costly habit: they save last. Financially successful people do the opposite. They save first. That single change in the order of their decisions transforms their financial future. What does it mean to pay yourself first? When most people hear the phrase, pay yourself first, they assume it means buying something nice as a reward for working hard. In reality, it means something completely different. It means that the moment you receive your income, before you pay anyone else, before you spend on entertainment, shopping, or unnecessary expenses, you set aside a portion of your money for your future. Think of it as paying the most important person in your financial life. You. Not because you're selfish, but because your future depends on the decisions you make today. Every time you save and invest before spending, you're sending yourself a powerful message. My future matters. Why most people never build wealth. Here's a question worth thinking about. If you waited until the end of every month to exercise, how often would you actually do it? Probably not very often. The same is true with saving money. When saving depends on whatever is left over after spending, there usually isn't much left. Expenses naturally expand to match income. Unexpected costs appear. Temptations arise. Sales, discounts, vacations, birthdays, and celebrations all compete for your attention. If saving is your last priority, it often becomes no priority at all. That's why wealthy people reverse the order. Instead of saying, "I'll save what's left after I spend," they say, "I'll spend what's left after I save." That small shift creates enormous results over time. Treat saving like a monthly bill. Think about your rent or mortgage. You don't wait to see if there's enough money left at the end of the month. You plan for it because it's important. Now imagine treating your savings the same way. Instead of seeing saving as optional, treat it as a non-negotiable monthly payment to your future self. Just as you wouldn't ignore an electricity bill, don't ignore your investment account. Your future deserves the same level of commitment. When saving becomes a fixed habit instead of a flexible decision, building wealth becomes much easier. Every saved dollar has a job. Many people see savings as money that sits quietly in a bank account doing nothing. Successful people see it differently. Every dollar saved has a purpose. Some dollars become an emergency fund that protects you from unexpected setbacks. Some become investments that grow over time. Some help fund a future business. Some pay for education that increases your earning power. Some eventually buy freedom by allowing you to retire comfortably or work because you choose to, not because you have to. When you save with purpose, every dollar becomes an employee working toward your goals. Automate your success. One of the smartest financial habits you can develop is automation. The reason is simple. Human emotions change. Some months you'll feel motivated. Other months you'll be tired, distracted, or tempted to spend. Automation removes emotion from the process. Arrange for a portion of your income to move automatically into a savings or investment account the moment you're paid. If you never see the money in your spending account, you're far less likely to miss it. This simple system allows your wealth to grow quietly in the background while you focus on living your life. Successful people understand that systems are stronger than willpower. Start small, but start now. Many people delay saving because they believe the amount is too small to matter. I'll start when I can save more. But saving is not just about money. It's about building a habit. Someone who consistently saves a small amount every month is developing financial discipline. That discipline will remain when their income grows. Someone who saves nothing while earning a modest income often continues saving nothing even after receiving a raise because the habit was never developed. The amount matters less than the consistency. A small habit repeated for years becomes a powerful financial advantage. Saving creates freedom. Money does more than buy possessions. It buys choices. When you have savings, you're not forced to accept every opportunity out of desperation. You can leave a job that no longer fulfills you. You can take time to learn a new skill. You can start a business. You can handle unexpected emergencies without panic. You can help your family when they need you. Savings create options. And options create freedom. That's why saving is not an act of sacrifice. It's an act of preparing for a better future. Delayed gratification is a superpower. One of the greatest differences between wealthy people and everyone else is their willingness to delay gratification. They understand that saying no to one unnecessary purchase today often means saying yes to something far greater tomorrow. A weekend of impulse spending may bring temporary excitement. Years of disciplined saving can provide lifelong peace of mind. The wealthy don't deny themselves forever. They simply choose long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. That mindset changes everything. Build the habit before you build wealth. Many people believe wealth comes first and good habits follow. In reality, it's the opposite. Good habits create wealth. Saving first may feel uncomfortable in the beginning. You may wonder whether such a simple habit can really make a difference. It can. Because every time you pay yourself first, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who takes control of their financial future. You're becoming the kind of person who plans ahead instead of reacting. And over time, that identity shapes every financial decision you make. Chapter 7. Choose friends who inspire growth. Your environment shapes your financial habits. The people you spend the most time with quietly shape the person you become. Choose them wisely, because your future often looks like your environment. Imagine placing a healthy green plant in two different environments. In the first room, the plant receives sunlight, fresh air, clean water, and proper care. Day after day, it grows stronger. Its roots deepen, its leaves become greener, and eventually it flourishes. Now imagine placing the same plant in a dark room with little water and poor soil. Despite having the same potential, it begins to weaken. Its growth slows. Over time, it struggles simply to survive. The plant didn't change. The environment did. People are no different. Every day, whether you realize it or not, the people around you influence the way you think, the decisions you make, and the habits you develop. They shape your attitude toward money, work, success, risk, and opportunity. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, avoid responsibility, and live beyond their means, it's easy to begin believing that those behaviors are normal. But if you spend time with people who value learning, discipline, generosity, and financial responsibility, those habits begin to feel natural. That is why choosing your friends is not only a social decision, it is one of the most important financial decisions you will ever make. You become what you constantly see. Think about the conversations you have most often. Do the people around you talk about new ideas, books, business opportunities, investing, and personal growth? Or do they spend most of their time complaining about their jobs, blaming others for their problems, gossiping about people, and looking for shortcuts? Conversation shapes perspective. Perspective shapes decisions. And decisions shape your future. If everyone around you believes that becoming wealthy is impossible, you'll eventually begin to question your own dreams. If everyone around you believes that learning new skills is a waste of time, you may stop investing in yourself. But if your circle believes that growth is always possible, you'll begin looking for opportunities instead of excuses. Your environment quietly becomes your standard. Energy is contagious. Have you ever noticed how spending time with optimistic people leaves you feeling energized? They encourage you. They challenge you. They celebrate your progress. Now think about the opposite. Some people drain your energy every time you see them. No idea is ever good enough. Every opportunity is dismissed. Every challenge becomes an excuse to quit. Negativity spreads just as easily as enthusiasm. That's why protecting your mindset is so important. You don't have to stop caring about people who struggle. But you do need to be careful about allowing constant negativity to become the soundtrack of your life. The people closest to you influence what you believe is possible. Choose wisely. Your friends influence your financial habits. Money habits are surprisingly social. If everyone in your circle spends every weekend shopping, eating at expensive restaurants, and upgrading to the newest gadgets, you'll naturally feel pressure to do the same. Not because you need those things, but because you want to belong. This is one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. We naturally imitate the people around us. The good news is that this works in your favor when you're surrounded by financially responsible people. Imagine having friends who talk about investing instead of impulse buying. Friends who celebrate paying off debt. Friends who encourage learning instead of showing off. Friends who discuss business ideas, books, and personal growth. Those conversations slowly reshape your own habits. Success becomes normal. Discipline becomes attractive. Growth becomes expected. Find people who challenge you. Real friends don't always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes they tell you what you need to hear. They encourage you to dream bigger. They remind you of your goals when you become distracted. They celebrate your victories without jealousy. They offer honest advice instead of comfortable excuses. The best friendships help you become a better version of yourself. If everyone around you agrees with every decision you make, you may never grow. Growth often begins with conversations that challenge your thinking. Seek friends who inspire progress, not complacency. Learn from people who are ahead of you. One of the fastest ways to grow is to spend time with people who have already achieved what you hope to accomplish. You don't have to become their closest friend. You can learn through books, podcasts, audiobooks, online communities, seminars, mentors. Every successful person leaves behind lessons that can shorten your learning curve. Instead of learning every lesson through painful experience, borrow wisdom from those who have already traveled the road. A single conversation with the right mentor can save you years of mistakes. Be the friend you want to find. While it's important to choose your environment carefully, remember something equally important. You are part of someone else's environment. Ask yourself, do I encourage others? Do I celebrate their success? Do I inspire people to grow? Do I speak with optimism or constant negativity? Do I add value to the lives of those around me? The kind of people you hope to attract are usually looking for someone with those same qualities. Become that person. Generosity, integrity, curiosity, and discipline attract people with similar values. Distance yourself from toxic influences. Not every relationship helps you grow. Some relationships keep you trapped in old habits. This doesn't mean you must cut people out of your life simply because they think differently. It means recognizing when someone's influence consistently pulls you away from your goals. If someone constantly encourages reckless spending, mocks your ambitions, discourages your learning, or criticizes every attempt you make to improve, it's worth asking whether that relationship supports the future you're trying to build. Sometimes growth requires creating healthy boundaries. Protecting your future is not selfish. It is responsible. Success is rarely a solo journey. Every successful person has been influenced by others. Teachers, mentors, supportive friends, business partners, family members. No one achieves great things completely alone. Behind every successful individual is usually a network of people who believed in them, challenged them, and encouraged them to keep going when life became difficult. Choose to build that kind of network. And choose to become that kind of person for others. The relationships you invest in today may become some of your greatest assets tomorrow. Chapter 8. Choose your life partner wisely. How marriage affects finances, stress, opportunities, and long-term wealth. One of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make isn't about stocks, real estate, or business. It's about the person you choose to build your life with. Imagine two people standing at the starting line of a marathon. Both are healthy. Both have similar abilities. Both are determined to reach the finish line. Now imagine that one runner has a supportive teammate beside them, someone who encourages them, shares the load, helps them through difficult moments, and celebrates every milestone. The other runner has someone pulling them backward, criticizing every decision, creating unnecessary conflict, and making the journey harder than it needs to be. Who is more likely to reach the finish line successfully? Life works much the same way. Your life partner becomes the person with whom you share your dreams, your responsibilities, your challenges, and your financial future. Few decisions have a greater influence on your happiness, peace of mind, and long-term wealth than the person you choose to walk beside. Many people spend months researching a car, comparing prices before buying a home, or studying investment opportunities before putting money into the stock market. Yet they sometimes choose a life partner based only on emotion, without considering whether they share similar values, goals, and financial habits. Love is essential. But love alone is not enough to build a financially secure future. Shared values, mutual respect, honest communication, and responsible financial habits are equally important. Money is one of the biggest sources of stress. Many relationships don't struggle because there isn't enough money. They struggle because there isn't enough communication about money. Imagine one partner believes in saving for the future, while the other believes every paycheck should be enjoyed immediately. One carefully plans a monthly budget. The other spends impulsively without thinking about tomorrow. One dreams of financial independence. The other constantly accumulates unnecessary debt. Neither person is necessarily bad. They simply approach money differently. If these differences are never discussed, small disagreements can grow into major conflicts. That's why choosing a partner who shares similar financial values is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Build a team, not a competition. A successful relationship is not about keeping score. It's about building a team. When one partner succeeds, both succeed. When one partner faces challenges, both work together to overcome them. The strongest couples don't compete against each other. They compete against life's challenges together. Financial success becomes much easier when both people share the same vision. They set goals together. They save together. They invest together. They celebrate progress together. Instead of asking, "What's mine?" and "What's yours?" they ask, "What's best for our future?" That simple shift creates unity instead of division. Choose character over lifestyle. It's easy to be impressed by appearances. Someone may drive an expensive car, wear designer clothes, or enjoy a luxurious lifestyle. But those things reveal very little about character. Character is revealed in everyday habits. Do they keep their promises? Do they take responsibility for their actions? Are they honest even when honesty is difficult? Do they respect other people? Can they delay gratification? Are they willing to work toward long-term goals? These qualities matter far more than outward success. A person with strong character can overcome financial setbacks. A person without integrity can destroy even great financial opportunities. The foundation of lasting wealth is not income alone. It's trust. Support each other's growth. One of the greatest gifts a life partner can offer is encouragement. Imagine coming home with an exciting idea for learning a new skill, starting a business, or accepting a challenging opportunity. A supportive partner says, "I believe in you. Let's figure it out together." That kind of encouragement creates confidence. Now imagine the opposite. That will never work. You're wasting your time. Just stay where you are. Constant negativity slowly destroys ambition. Your partner doesn't have to agree with every dream you have, but they should encourage your growth rather than discourage it. The best relationships inspire both people to become better than they could have become alone. Financial goals should be shared goals. Every couple should talk openly about money. Not once. Regularly. Discuss your goals. How much do you want to save? What kind of lifestyle do you hope to build? Do you want to buy a home? Start a business? Travel? Retire early? Support your children's education? These conversations prevent misunderstandings and strengthen trust. When both partners know where they're going, every financial decision becomes easier. A shared destination creates shared discipline. Respect matters more than income. Many people believe financial security depends on marrying someone with a high income. Income certainly helps, but respect matters even more. A couple earning average salaries while making wise financial decisions can build remarkable wealth over time. A couple with extremely high incomes but constant conflict, poor communication, and reckless spending may never achieve financial freedom. Respect creates cooperation. Cooperation creates consistency. Consistency builds wealth. Money grows best in relationships built on trust and teamwork. Build wealth together. One of the most powerful things about marriage is that two people can achieve far more together than either could achieve alone. One person may excel at budgeting. The other may be gifted at investing. One may enjoy planning. The other may enjoy creating new income opportunities. Instead of seeing these differences as weaknesses, use them as strengths. Great partnerships multiply abilities. Financial success becomes easier when each person contributes according to their strengths while supporting the other in areas where they need improvement. Never stop investing in your relationship. Just as investments require regular attention, relationships do too. Communication, kindness, patience, gratitude, forgiveness, time together. These are not just emotional investments. They are financial investments as well. A strong relationship creates stability. Stability allows both partners to focus on building a better future rather than constantly solving avoidable conflicts. The healthiest marriages are built one conversation, one act of kindness, and one shared decision at a time. Choose someone who shares your vision. Before choosing a life partner, ask yourself an important question. Can we build the future we both want together? Not because either person is perfect, but because both are committed to growing together. The strongest relationships are not built by finding the perfect person. They are built by two imperfect people who choose to communicate honestly, support each other's dreams, solve problems together, and remain committed through life's challenges. That partnership becomes one of the greatest assets either person will ever have. Chapter 9. Buy assets before you buy luxuries. Cars lose value. Assets create value. The wealthy don't buy expensive things to look rich. They buy assets that make them rich first. Imagine two neighbors who each receive a bonus of $20,000 at the end of the year. The first neighbor immediately visits a luxury car dealership. Within a few days, they're driving a beautiful new car. Friends admire it. Family members congratulate them. For a while, every drive feels exciting. The car smells new, looks impressive, and turns heads wherever it goes. The second neighbor makes a different decision. Instead of buying something that immediately loses value, they invest the money into assets. Perhaps a diversified investment portfolio, a business, or another investment that has the potential to grow over time. The purchase isn't nearly as exciting. There are no compliments from strangers. No one stops to admire an investment account. Fast forward 10 years. The luxury car has lost much of its value. It may even need expensive repairs or replacement. Meanwhile, the investment has had years to grow and potentially generate additional income. The difference between these two neighbors wasn't how much money they had. It was how they chose to use it. That single decision shaped their financial future. The difference between an asset and a luxury. Before you can build wealth, you need to understand one of the most important concepts in personal finance. An asset is something that has the potential to increase in value, generate income, or strengthen your financial position over time. A luxury is something that provides enjoyment, comfort, or status but usually costs money to own and often loses value over time. Neither is inherently good or bad. The problem begins when people buy luxuries before they own enough assets. Financially successful people reverse the order. They allow their assets to grow first. Then, when those assets produce additional income, they use part of that income to enjoy luxuries without damaging their financial future. That's a completely different way of thinking. Why so many people stay broke? Many people earn good incomes but never become wealthy. Why? Because every time they receive extra money, they immediately spend it on things that decline in value. A newer car, the latest smartphone, expensive designer clothes, luxury vacations financed with debt. None of these purchases are necessarily wrong. The problem is making them your first priority instead of your last. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while there is a large hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it keeps leaking out. That's exactly what happens when every extra dollar goes toward depreciating purchases instead of wealth-building assets. Let your money hire more workers. Think of every dollar you own as a tiny employee. You have two choices. You can send that employee to work for you, or you can spend that employee forever. When you invest in an asset, you're giving that dollar a job. Its mission is to earn more dollars. Those new dollars can then begin working as well. Over time, you build a growing team of financial workers that continue producing value whether you're awake, asleep, working, or on vacation. This is how wealth quietly grows. The goal is not simply to earn money. The goal is to own assets that continue earning money long after you've earned the original income. The cost of instant gratification. One of the biggest reasons people buy luxuries too early is emotional. Buying something new feels exciting. It provides immediate satisfaction. You can see it, touch it, show it to others. Assets are different. Investments are often invisible. You don't receive compliments for consistently contributing to your retirement account. No one applauds you for buying shares of a growing business. But years later, those quiet decisions often produce far greater rewards than the temporary excitement of another expensive purchase. The wealthy learn to delay gratification. They understand that sacrificing a little comfort today often creates extraordinary freedom tomorrow. Buy income before image. Ask yourself a simple question before making any major purchase. Will this item put money into my future, or take money away from it? If the answer is that it will continually cost you money without increasing your financial strength, think carefully before buying it. Financially successful people focus on buying income-producing assets before buying status symbols. Why? Because once your assets begin producing income, they can eventually pay for the luxuries you want. Imagine owning investments that generate enough returns to purchase your dream vacation every year, or enough passive income to pay for the car you've always wanted. Now the luxury isn't funded by your paycheck. It's funded by your assets. That is financial freedom. Don't confuse success with appearance. Social media has made it easier than ever to compare ourselves with others. Every day we see luxury cars, beautiful homes, expensive watches, and glamorous vacations. What we rarely see are the debts, financial stress, and sacrifices hidden behind those images. Appearances can be misleading. Some people look wealthy but struggle financially every month. Others appear ordinary while quietly building millions through disciplined investing. True wealth is measured by what you own, not by what you display. The goal isn't to look successful. The goal is to become financially secure. Build assets that work around the clock. Unlike your paycheck, assets don't necessarily stop working when you go to sleep. Investments continue growing. Businesses continue serving customers. Rental properties may continue generating income. Royalties from books, digital products, or creative work may continue arriving long after the original work has been completed. This is one of the greatest advantages of owning assets. They separate your income from the number of hours you personally work. The more quality assets you build, the less dependent you become on trading time for money. Enjoy luxuries at the right time. This chapter is not suggesting that you should never enjoy nice things. You absolutely should celebrate your success. Travel. Drive a reliable car you enjoy. Live comfortably. Reward yourself for your hard work. But let your assets pay for your luxuries, not your future. Imagine buying a beautiful car knowing that your investments generated the money for it. Imagine taking your family on vacation using income from your investments rather than borrowing on a credit card. The experience feels completely different because your financial foundation remains strong. Luxury becomes a reward for discipline, not a substitute for it. Think like a wealth builder. Every financial decision asks the same question. Do I want to look wealthy today, or become wealthy over time? The answer determines the direction of your financial life. Wealth builders understand that every asset purchased today has the potential to create more opportunities tomorrow. They don't deny themselves forever. They simply allow their money to grow before asking it to be spent. That mindset transforms ordinary earners into financially independent individuals. Chapter 10. Master Delayed Gratification. The wealthy often sacrifice today for greater freedom tomorrow. Every financial decision asks the same question: do you want a small reward today, or a much bigger reward tomorrow? Imagine walking into a room where two envelopes are lying on a table. The first envelope contains $500 in cash, and you can take it home immediately. The second envelope is locked. You cannot open it today. But if you're willing to wait 10 years, it will contain $5,000, $10,000, or even much more because the money inside has been invested and allowed to grow. Which envelope would you choose? For many people, the first envelope is incredibly tempting. The money is available now. It feels real. It promises instant satisfaction. The second envelope requires something much more difficult: patience. This simple example represents one of the biggest differences between people who struggle financially and those who build lasting wealth. Financially successful people understand that the greatest rewards in life rarely arrive immediately. They are willing to delay small pleasures today because they know those sacrifices can create extraordinary freedom tomorrow. That ability is called delayed gratification, and it may be one of the most valuable financial skills you will ever develop. Why immediate rewards feel so powerful. Human beings naturally enjoy instant rewards. When we buy something new, our brain experiences excitement. A new phone, a luxury watch, a designer outfit, a weekend shopping trip. These purchases make us feel good, for a while. The problem is that the feeling rarely lasts. Within days or weeks, the excitement fades, and something else captures our attention. We begin chasing the next purchase, believing it will bring lasting happiness. This cycle quietly drains our finances without creating lasting satisfaction. Meanwhile, people who master delayed gratification ask a different question before spending money. Will this purchase improve my life for years, or will it simply make me feel good for a few days? That one question changes everything. Every great achievement requires patience. Think about the most valuable things in life. A healthy body isn't built in one workout. A successful business isn't created in 1 week. Strong relationships don't develop overnight. A meaningful career isn't built in a month. Financial freedom follows the same principle. It grows through consistent decisions made over many years. There are no shortcuts. The people who become financially independent aren't necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They are often the ones who stay patient while everyone else is chasing immediate rewards. The power of saying, "not yet." Delayed gratification doesn't mean saying, "no," forever. It means learning to say, "not yet." You don't have to give up your dreams of owning a beautiful home, driving a nice car, or traveling the world. Instead, you choose to build a strong financial foundation first. Imagine two people who both dream of buying a luxury car. The first finances the purchase immediately, taking on years of debt. The second invests consistently for several years, allowing their assets to grow. Eventually, their investments generate enough wealth that buying the car becomes easy, and it no longer threatens their financial future. Both people own the same car. But one owns it through debt. The other owns it through discipline. The experience feels completely different. Delayed gratification builds self-control. Money is not just about mathematics. It's about behavior. Every time you resist an unnecessary purchase, you're strengthening your financial discipline. Think of self-control like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The first time you choose investing over impulse spending may feel difficult. The 10th time becomes easier. Eventually, making wise financial decisions becomes part of your identity. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and begin asking, "Is this the best use of my money?" That's how financially successful people think. The rich buy time, not just things. One of the greatest rewards of delayed gratification is that it eventually buys something more valuable than luxury. It buys time. Imagine waking up every morning knowing you don't have to work simply to survive. Imagine choosing projects because they excite you, not because you're desperate for the paycheck. Imagine spending more time with your family, traveling without financial stress, helping people you care about, supporting causes you believe in. These freedoms are rarely created by impulse spending. They are created by years of patient decisions. The wealthy often sacrifice temporary comfort because they understand they are purchasing future freedom. Learn to ignore social pressure. One of the hardest parts of delaying gratification is living in a world that constantly encourages spending. Advertisements promise happiness. Social media showcases luxury lifestyles. Friends may upgrade their homes, cars, or wardrobes. It's easy to feel left behind. But remember this. You rarely see someone's investments. You rarely see their savings. You rarely see their financial stress. You only see what they choose to display. Comparing your financial journey to someone else's appearance is one of the fastest ways to make poor decisions. Stay focused on your own goals. Your future is more important than someone else's opinion. Small sacrifices create extraordinary results. Many people believe delayed gratification requires enormous sacrifice. It doesn't. Sometimes it's choosing to cook at home instead of dining out. Sometimes it's keeping your current phone for another year. Sometimes it's investing your annual bonus instead of spending it immediately. Small decisions, repeated consistently, produce remarkable results. Just as compound interest grows money, compound discipline grows character. And character determines destiny. Your future self is watching. Imagine meeting yourself 20 years from now. What would that future version of you say? Would they thank you for investing consistently? Would they appreciate the emergency fund you built? Would they be grateful you resisted unnecessary debt? Or would they wish you had started sooner? Every financial decision you make today is either helping or hurting the person you'll become tomorrow. Your future self cannot travel back in time. But you can make choices today that completely change their life. That's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Freedom is worth the wait. The world celebrates instant success. But lasting success is usually built quietly. One wise decision. One investment. One disciplined habit. One patient year after another. Eventually, something incredible happens. Your money begins working harder than you do. Your stress decreases. Your choices increase. Your freedom expands. People may look at your success and assume you were lucky. They won't see the years of discipline that made it possible. But you'll know. Every sacrifice had a purpose. Every delayed purchase built something greater. Every patient decision brought you closer to the life you truly wanted. Congratulations on completing part 1 of the money decisions that change everything. In part 2, we'll cover chapters 11 to 25, where you'll learn more powerful money decisions that can help you build wealth, create financial freedom, and secure your future. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more audiobook summaries and life-changing content on money, success, and self-improvement. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in part 2.